We are live, and this is Dr. Wu. In today's lesson, we will return to the first term examination from the 2015-2016 school year and review text 2. And our learning target is, I understand pronoun referencing. And like in my previous video, first, we will look at some of the pronoun referencing in the first 2 paragraphs. And then we'll take a quiz on the pronoun referencing in paragraphs 3 and 4. So let's make a start. First, we have a title, Strange Dark Tales. That should tell us about the topic of the text. 2, we see a character, Ben, dear Ben, comma. So it appears to be a letter. Just to check, we go to the end of the text and we see John. Okay. This is a very unusual ending. We don't necessarily see any kind of closing, but a name. Okay, so it seems to be a letter. There's a Ben and there's a John. Let's begin. Dear Ben, have you heard of the Chinese legend that on the 7th day after a person dies, their restless spirit will roam the earth again? You. You is Ben. Ben, you, Ben, heard of the Chinese legend that on the 7th day after a person dies, there. What is there? There actually refers to a person. Now you may ask, why does there, which is plural, refer to a person, which is singular? The reason is, in our society, to be politically correct, we don't want to call a person a man or a woman if we don't know if the person is a man or a woman. So in English, we have singular pronouns that refer to people, but they also indicate sex or gender. So his always refers to male, singular person. Her refers to female, singular, possessive person. So what people do, instead of saying his restless or her restless, is people who want to be politically correct use their. Okay, so there actually means a person's restless spirit. That's a tricky one. Thankfully, you're not being quizzed on that. I thought that was a silly fear. What is that? I think that refers to this other that. On the 7th day after a person dies, a person's restless spirit will roam the earth again, was a silly fear. However, who is I? I refers to the writer, John. I've changed my. What does my refer to? It's possessive. It's John's mind after what happened to me. Who is me? John, last week. Let's go to paragraph 2. You see. Who is you? Well, it refers to the character who is reading the letter. Ben. Ben, see. My friend Jason was killed in a fatal accident 2 weeks ago when we were on our way to another friend's house. Who is we? Let's assume it has to be at least Jason and John. When Jason and John were on our, what does our refer to? Jason and John's way to another friend's house. Jason wanted to buy something from a convenience store across the road. When Jason was crossing the road, what does the road refer to? It refers to this road, where the convenience store is. A red sports car sped towards him. Who is him? Refers to Jason. At hair-raising speed, killing him. Who is him? It's Jason. It's the same him over here. I was horrified. Who's I? I is the writer, John. When I looked up, same I, it's John. He's writing this. The car was gone. Which car? This car. A red sports car. So the car, in this case, the refers to this. Which this? A red sports car. Okay, now we're warmed up. Let's test our understanding of pronoun referencing in paragraphs 3 and 4. And you'll have a quiz. When the police arrived, they. What does they refer to? It asked if anybody had seen which direction the sports car had gone. What does the refer to? That is the sports car. But no one had, and the car was never found. What does the car refer to? It was mind-boggling how a moving car could disappear completely unnoticed. Last week, we. What does we refer to? Here is a hint. We refers to something in the paragraph. So you need to read the entire paragraph, then you have a clearer understanding of what we refers to. Went to the place where the accident occurred. It was almost midnight and the road was dark and eerily quiet. Question, what does the road refer to? Soon it started to rain heavily. The road became slippery. My friends mumbled something about it being the 7th day after Jason died. And that he might return. Who is he? We glanced at each other nervously. Who was we? Let's go to paragraph 5. Then we saw Jason from across the road, waving to us. What does us refer to? In front of the convenience store. He, who is he? Was wearing the same clothes he wore on the day he was killed, and his body was glowing. Okay, so let's try these 10. Now, here's a hint, also for number 5. The answer, I think, is in this sentence, the previous sentence. The road refers to something in the previous sentence. Okay. So let's take the quiz. and we'll review it in 2 weeks' time.